What is going on, guys? We are outside. You're gonna hear some background noises like birds and stuff like that. You hear that? Oh, I almost fell. But anyway, this video is talking about the way we treat people better based on what they look like, based on how attractive a person is, based on how unattractive they are, based on how ugly or beautiful a person is. This directly impacts the way I think I just walked into a spider web, the way we treat people. We will help people more based on if they are a good-looking person versus a person who is not so good-looking. And I think people do this unconsciously. It's like you don't consciously realize that you're doing it, but yet you are doing it. And it's not saying that if somebody doesn't look good or look the part, that you're going to be rude and mean to them. It's not saying that. It's saying that you won't do as much for somebody who doesn't look very nice or doesn't look good. You won't go as far for that person. Like an example that would be like if somebody was on the side of the road with a car issue, a bad tire or something. If it's a woman who's very good looking, it will not take long for somebody to help the woman. If it is a man or a woman who isn't good looking at all, it will be a lot harder for that person to get help. Or if somebody just needs jumper cables to jump their car or something along those lines, you will be more hesitant to help that person based on how good they look or how good they don't look. And like I said, almost all of us do it. Not that specifically, but I'm saying treat people based on the way they look. And I'm generally talking about when you're dealing with people you don't know. You do this too when you're dealing with people you know, but especially when it's people you don't know. You know, and it's little things, it's big things, you know. And it's something about our mind, like I don't know if it's instinctive or whatever, but it's just the way we are, man. We're that way. And the reason it's so unfortunate is because when you treat people better, when people are so used to getting treated so much better than other people, they start to realize that they are being treated better than the other people. And sometimes they start buying into it and they start really believing that they're better than others. And there's other people, it goes both ways. There's other people that start believing they're not worthy as other people are. And it breaks down their mental. Breaks them down mentally because they start feeling down on themselves when they look around. They see other people being treated well. People are giving them stuff. Every time they need a little bit of help, people are just giving them everything. But when they need something or want something, it's like nobody's really stepping up. People pick up on this stuff and they start noticing. And it affects their mentality, their mental. So basically, it affects the way we kind of turn out sometimes, you know? And it's not really a good thing. It's a very unfortunate thing. But just about all of us are guilty of it. I think there's some people that will probably say they don't do that. I think you don't notice that you do it sometimes. It's like you don't pay attention to the fact that you're doing it. And it goes further than that, you know. A person who tries to talk to you about something, if they're an unattractive person who you don't like, it can feel like you're being bothered or harassed. If it's somebody that looks good and looks nice, it can feel more like a pleasant exchange of conversation, even though it's the identical exact situation. And like I said, I think we don't realize we do it. I did it more when I was younger, as a kid, as opposed to right now. Right now, I'm very conscious of it, so I don't allow myself to do it. But I have done it because I've seen it done to myself. I see other people being treated far better than me, just based on the fact that they may look better, or, people like them more naturally because of the way they look. So consciously, I don't allow myself to do this anymore. I'm not going to say I treat everybody exactly the same, because I don't. I try to treat people based on what they stand for, the way they behave, their level of respect. An example that would be like, if you're a very good-looking person, but you lack respect for people, you don't care about, you're selfish, I'm not going to treat you nicely or as politely as I would somebody who thinks in the opposite manner, regardless of how you look. Because once you realize that you do this as a person, I think it's good to try to not allow yourself to be this way. Because a person's looks sometimes are it's just unfortunate or fortunate based on genetics or whatnot. Like, women are going to like and enjoy a man who is taller than a man who is shorter. Men are going to like a woman who is a smaller body frame rather than somebody who's obese or something like that. They're going to treat them accordingly. And it's extremely unfortunate. I'm not talking about dating preference, but people naturally treat people based on those same things. If you prefer a woman who is a smaller body frame, you naturally treat women better when they have that body frame, even if it's not a dating situation. It's like you have more respect for people just because they look better. Like, looks are creating a measurement of respect, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate for me to be treated differently because another guy is taller than me, so they don't have respect for me. You don't need to date a person who is short if you don't want a short person. I would never tell you that this has nothing to do with dating preference. It has to do with respect and how you treat people. That's basically what I'm talking about. And people will treat people with less respect if they don't have good looks. I notice this regularly. It's like, I seen a situation one time where I was at the mall and this guy was kind of walking around the mall and people were saying, well, who is that guy? He's creepy, he's this, he's that. I didn't think he was doing anything. He was just walking around. But I think because they didn't see him as a good looking person, his presence just bothered them for that reason. Had he been a tall, handsome guy, well dressed, they would have been happy to see that guy walking around. So that goes to show you how bad it is. You might not do anything to anybody. People will still possibly be annoyed by your presence just because they don't like the way you look. But yeah, this is just a topic that I was thinking about because I've been paying attention to it. And I want to know your opinion. Do you think I'm wrong about that? Do you think I'm stretching it? Do you not notice it? Do you notice it a lot? Do you think it matters at all? Do you think it's a big deal? What's your opinion on this subject? Leave a comment, let me know.